I took her in to see the doctor and was pretty, amazed when he said she had schizophrenia. I wasn't aware of just how much it's got an impact on myself and her and the family. In those days, there was no support network for carers. The first few years was really hard, simply because I battled on my own. A lot of things were focused on her medication, on her, getting her well, but I was sort of pushed out towards the side, It was like there was no need for a support network for me. And so I just had to manage the best way I could. But at the same time, I was sort of falling apart inside, but I just had no idea how to cope with it. I'm still coping with my daughter even today. And it's a 24-hour job, 3 o'clock in the morning something can happen. It is still a big struggle. A few months ago, I just lost it completely. And I ended up at the psych ward in the Broome Hospital. So I was in there for 6 weeks, and it gave me time to just reflect on me, And the amazing thing about that was other members of my extended family was like, oh, we had no idea, because you always put this front up, everything's okay, everything's fine. When inside you're thinking, oh my God. I think mental illness should be something that should be spoken about and more openly. Please go and see somebody. It's okay to go there and say, I need help. To me, Helping Minds means that there is an organisation that can really, really help you, not only in terms of you talking about problems you have, but also to see things that you can't see, because you're focused on your problem. They can also say there's other things around that you could do. It was a godsend to me. It really, really was, because there was somebody or an organisation that said, hey, we're here for you. Initially, I didn't want to go because I was ashamed, because for me to say, hey, I need help was a no-no. And it's good because you have a cup of tea or coffee and nothing is placed on you, You're not obliged to say or do anything straight away. It's amazing sometimes. You don't know what your own strength is too unless outsiders bring it out of you. It gives you hope that there's light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to persevere. Helping Minds, they're a great organisation. They really are. They saved my life.
Well, I felt very confused because her mental health issue came on very suddenly as a result of a car accident. Jude was really depressed and very anxious, and I didn't know how to deal with that. That was the hardest part, not knowing what was actually happening with her. We had 2 kids just started high school at the time, and obviously I had to step up and look after them a lot more. They really connected well with their mum, and that connection was sort of lost for a while. I couldn't stay at work because I felt as though I needed to be home, because there were times when I felt that Jude wasn't coping at all. She was very intensely unwell. It was really just in survival mode and to keep the family going. People need to find some support as early as possible. When their loved one is diagnosed with a mental health issue, going to Helping Minds and getting some counselling and getting put in touch with other carers, who are in the same boat. It's changed not just my life, but it's changed my wife's life as well. You might have a lot of friends and family, but you're actually very alone. And it's only when you go to a place like Helping Minds where you actually feel as though you're not alone. It builds you up again, it builds your confidence up. I think they saved my life, not in a physical sense, but just the life that we were living looked like it was going nowhere fast. We are still together. We came through this as a family, and I don't know if that would have been the case if I hadn't gone to Helping Minds and got that help. Over the years, Jude has recovered a heck of a lot. I'm just happy, and we're happy that we actually got through it, and we're doing all right. I look after myself a lot better. There's things I like. We have music playing 24/7 in the house because music is what relaxes us both. Our dog Bob, we'd be lost without him, and pottering in the garden. We both love to potter in our small but very filled garden area. Now I've actually got back to my old self, prior to Judys Accident. I'm just over the moon with Helping Minds, and I do all I can to support them because they change people's lives. They absolutely do.
I've got a daughter that's got bipolar, a daughter that's got schizophrenia, their mother's got schizophrenia. I wouldn't wish this on my greatest enemy. It's a really horrible condition. It's a big monster. I love my family. I love being near them. I felt a bit jolted, and I know that I wouldn't be living a relaxed life. I'd have to be more committed in responsibility. I'd have to be on call, even at this moment in time, as I'm sitting here. I don't get as angry as before when I didn't know anything about the conditions. Helping Minds educated me, so it's like less stressful when you know what it is. I've got my cousin Simon that works for Helping Minds. He remembers when I first went into the building, I was screaming and very abusive because I was all bottled up inside. I didn't know what this monster was until that building educated me. It relaxed me like there is people that will listen to you. The only place we can run for personal help is Helping Minds. Helping Minds is a place where we can relax and they can see if we're going down the gurgler, and they can see whether we're coping, and they try to help us in a counselling manner, When you're good and well, then you're able to help someone else. They become like family, that building. It's an open door, Helping Minds. It's not like wait an hour to talk to the boss or anything like that. Helping Minds educated me fully, got me on my feet. I was stressing personally. Their counselling have helped me to survive to this very day.
Tessa had mental health concerns throughout her teenage life, and when she was finally diagnosed at 19, it was a relief. The words would come up such as that she's putting it on, she could change, she's being naughty, especially when they're a teenager. It's looked at their behaviour, not the cause of the behaviour. People did not understand what she was going through, and therefore what I was going through. I was fearful for her and then fearful for ourselves as to what that meant to our family unit, and I became a carer. So the impact has been on many levels, but primarily just my role as Tessa's carer as well as her mother. There's sometimes a clash between being a parent and being a carer. Helping Minds has helped me in that I feel like there's progression forward. This organisation is there for the carer, and the carer can be a very isolated person. They can be ignored. They have so much information. They're really the person who knows what works. Helping Minds empowers people to be recognised for an actual role that literally could have a job description. In the last 12 months, Tess and I have really moved forward. Tessa's doing a lot better on her medication, and because of that, she's been able to return to some study, which has really helped her confidence. Getting those skills you can get out of your mind and actually just get on with living it and accepting the person you're caring for as they are and be doing the best you can each day. Helping Minds means to me that I am actually part of the process. I'm part of the relationship. I actually do have a role. It's very important in Tessa's recovery. Helping Minds recognises that and supports that role.
Shelley used to self-harm. One day she just had a complete breakdown. She just stopped functioning as a person. She just stopped. And it was like, holy crap, what do we do now? Like, where do I go? What do we do? I love Shelley heaps, and we just have to work through it. So we did. We buckled down and learnt everything we had to learn. I had to go from being dad and working to being mum and dad. So you had to learn to do everything. And I think it was a really big shock to have to step right up to take over the whole lot. I think it was very emotionally draining, and it physically drained me. There was no one to talk to. It was me. I took it all on myself. And for years I've dealt with it just myself. You go to your mates and you go, oh look, I'm quitting work because my wife's got mental health problems, and they look at you and go, what? Tell her to get over it. For a long time we stumbled along, just me making do with whatever I could get done, and Shelley just doing the best she can to survive. And mental health affects everything. Shelley might have mental health problems, but it affects 5 people in our house. Our family was wrecked. Mental health isn't just, oh, I've got something wrong inside me. It's a big, explosive package that people don't understand. Down at Helping Minds, since we've been in this town, it's somewhere you can go and just blurt out whatever's annoying the crap out of you or whatever you're struggling with. And that's what you need. You need someone you can just go and spill it all out. It's just an ear to listen to what you're saying. That's what it is. Somewhere to go and have a cup of coffee, meet a few other people, talk to other carers, find out ways you can do things differently. And sometimes it's just good to have somewhere like Helping Minds just to go and sit down and just let some of the pressure flow off. Don't ever give up. You can't. It's the biggest job in the world. Whether you're looking after mum or dad or brother or sister or husband or wife, it's the biggest job in the world, and you can't quit. That person depends on you. Strive to find any help you can find, anything. Doesn't matter what it is, you've got to look for it. You've got to actually reach out and grab it and take advantage of it.